So thought I'd do a vlog of the depleted menagerie. All of them are going to get wormed tonight. Mrs. Brahma, needs her second dose or third dose, but I certainly needed to follow her up yesterday. That was due, but I didn't feel that I wanted to distress her more after having witnessed the cockerel dying. The Marin, who is, you can't see her, she's inside the gate there, dust bathing, but I can hear she's got gateworm. So she's not herself, and I do hope we can get on top of it. The problem with gateworm is that they pick up the eggs from the feces that's on the floor. And we can't clear out all that feces in there. We've cleared it out, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. But that's what happens. There's which is why you worm them after 15 days to collect, to pick up any that have hatched from eggs. So the Marin was wormed probably about 2 weeks ago. So all of them are going to get wormed again tonight. Yeah. Meow. Meow. Yeah, yesterday I lifted him out. He'd not been coming out. I picked him up, didn't put up a fight, lifted him out and put him here in the foreground, stood him there. And 2 hours later came and got halfway down the garden and could see that he had died. And these two, the more active chickens, were standing in that doorway over here, just standing, looking. And I had heard, I'd been in the kitchen probably cooking or something, I'd heard something, a bit of a shouting going on briefly, and wondered whether that was something. And of course it probably was. I remember when we had a Brahma cock before who we called Trousers, years ago now. And I remember when he died and his wife put up quite a lot of noise. I think he just died of a heart attack. He'd been in a fight with another cockerel. I can't remember, but he'd been in a fight with another cockerel. And everything was fine after that. But it was like 2 hours later, he just keeled over. So yeah, I am sad, but I'm not. I'm so relieved. He's been so ill and just hanging on, and I am not. There's part of me that knows that I should have put him out of his misery. I should have dealt with him in a different way a week or so back, or a week back, but I can't. I've never been able to kill a chicken. And there's some people that can do that. And if I had to, at the end of the day, if that was the last, not these chickens, they're my pets, but if I were growing chickens for food because we'd reached a point in that where we, that's all there was, then I know I could, because I have done it once before when we were raising chickens for meat. But I only did it once and it was horrible, and I couldn't pluck it because I'd got carpal tunnel syndrome at that point, so I couldn't use my hands. Still can't use my hands now, so in the way that you need to be able to do that. But yeah, I really should have put him out of his misery maybe a week ago, because he's just been declining and declining. I'm just going to go and interrupt that Marin, because I'm hoping she's just sleeping and having a dust bath. But are you two dust bathing in here. Don't bother us, Mum. We just want a bit of a sleep and a bit of a bath. I carried the cuckoo marron out this morning because she is slow coming out because she's limping, and I think it just takes her a bit of work to get her legs moving. A bit like me, really. Not that it's my legs, but you know. So this marron, as you know, you've seen her being energetic, running around, being noisy. She isn't. And I looked at her this morning when I came to let them out, and I thought I could hear something. And I listened, and I could hear her slightly bubbly. I know that worming her tonight will catch it, and then she'll get wormed again in 2 weeks. I can probably have to get some more wormer. But I know that we'll catch it because the Brahma hen was really bad, wasn't she? She was in for 2 days and really bad. I really did think she was going to fall off the perch, and she seems to have fully recovered. So I'm not concerned about this one, apart from her being sleepy. In fact, if I can pick her up now. Trouble is, there's a lot of trip hazards, as you can see. All these sticks that they drag out when they're scratching. If I can pick her up now, I'll take her up and we can worm her. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, go on. That's it, I got you. I got you. She's definitely wheezy. There you go. Back in the room. Having been wormed. She's actually quite relaxed once you pick her up. Aren't you, huh? She's the one that's picked on more by the Brahma, not her. I was stroking her, waiting for Mark because he was doing something else. And on the back of her neck, she's got some half deplumed bits and feathers that are a bit mangled where she's been pecked by the Brahma. But it really isn't much now. The chicken, the pecking order stuff is well, as you can see, it's fine. They're all living in reasonable harmony. This azure will roost. The other two aren't roosting. When we worm them tonight, I'm going to lift them and sit them on the roost because I think they should be roosting. And I'm hoping that the cuckoo marron, despite her limp, will be able to grip the roosting bars. It's better for them to roost. Otherwise, they're sitting and pooing where they sit, which is what the Brahma cockerel was doing. So, which is why I said he needed to be cleaned, because he was not moving and sitting and pooing where he was sitting, and you know, that didn't need doing at the end of the day. So prepare yourselves, it's going to be me next. This chair feels like it's on a bit of a slope this way. So, our bedroom's been painted. So Duncan was here on, what's today? Today is Thursday. It's Ferié Day. It's it's Assumption Day, whatever that means. I know I've looked it up and I probably do know what it means, but because I'm not religious, it doesn't really mean anything to me. So he was here Tuesday and Wednesday, and he has painted our bedroom, which it's nice to have a change. It's not quite the green I thought it was. Mark's not so fussed about it, but it's not something that I'm going to think, oh God, I can't stand it. It's nice to have a change. It was Egyptian cotton, which was just a very sort of very pale grey white, very sort of blank canvas for everything. And we'd had it for years and years and years, it was time for a change. So we have booked him for March to come back. It's going to be March because he can't get here before Mark's second knee replacement in October. We've booked him for March to do the bunker. And by then, I think Mark will be feeling very well. Well, one assumes he will. He recovered really well from the last one. Let's just think that he's going to do the same again and that we're both going to be as well as we are now. And yeah, so there's a lot of unloading to do. He's got lots of cabinets and cupboards and lots of stuff on the wall and lots of things that need moving, but we'll do that. And it'll be really nice to get that done because that and the laundry room are the roughest rooms in the house. And I imagine that once that's done, a few months later, I'll probably get Duncan back to do the laundry room, and then that'll be it, because then I won't need, it's like the whole of the ground floor will be fine. It's not fantastic, but it'll be fine. Yeah, so that's good. That was done. I find it exhausting having somebody here for 2 days. He did other things that needed doing. He wanted to put conduit up where the cable from the Starlinks was running into the house. He did that, and we found the paint for the lounge, and he painted it, and actually it isn't the paint for the lounge. So it's a darker paint, and I don't know how that happened because we did ask for some leftover paint for touching up. So I've contacted Christoph to ask him if we can have the correct paint, because at the moment we've got it looks worse than it did before the conduit was up. I was fine with it just being a cable, but he wasn't. He's attached the pergola very solidly, both lots of pergola, to the house wall. So that's the house will fall down before that falls down. We've decided, not that we want the house to fall down, but the house will fall down before that has a problem. So that's good. That's fully attached. So whatever hangs on that, the only issue will be if the wood doesn't like it, if the wood rots and struggles under the weight. But actually, the pergola is now attached to the house solidly. So he did that. He touched up the kitchen. The kitchen where we had the kitchen done. One of the cupboards didn't go. The cupboard with the oven in didn't go all the way up because I didn't want an oven to go all the way up, a cupboard to go all the way up, because I can't reach the cupboard at the top. So there was an area there of rough plaster that had not been finished off and needed painting. So he's done that. And there was a bit down by the back door that he's done painted. So it's all looking good in there. So that was 2 days' work, and he's finished now. He's got lots of other stuff to do, and he wants to go back to the UK for a bit. So he's very busy. I think that's it's a problem. People, because he's really good and works really hard and does a good job, people want him to do things. And it's I'm going to turn this round because they're all having a bit of Yeah, he's much in demand. I'll come out into the sun now. Marin there in that doorway. Mrs. Brahma trying to work out where she's going to dust bath. Caught Ida drinking last night. That's so unusual that she drinks water. But there's a bowl at the top of the garden that I'd refreshed. And as we came back in last night after closing the chickens up, I caught her drinking, which is amazing. So I've just refreshed the water in the red bowl and the silver bowl there, just because I think sheep prefer fresh water. Chickens don't care, cats don't care. Cats will drink it out of a puddle. Cats will drink dirty water, as will chickens, but Ida probably won't. So I want her to have some fresh water if she can. I got plenty of wormer left. I was a bit concerned that I wasn't going to have enough wormer, but I've got plenty left. So these chickens, the small chickens, are only having 1 mil. I'm using a insulin syringe for them, so they're only having 1 mil. And Mrs. Brahma will get 3.5 mils, because Mr. Brahma was having 5.5 mils, but he weighed 5 kilos, I think, or 4 kilos. So I'll give her three mils, and hopefully that will do. Hopefully that will combat it with her. That'll be her second dose after she was so ill. This Marin will now need a second dose in 2 weeks' time. The other two, this will be their second dose. This is her second dose, that Marin that she's just had, but the other two don't show any signs of having gapeworm. So the dose they get tonight will be the last dose. I'm looking forward to just being able to let the chickens out, put the chickens away, let them out, put them away, and not have to medicate, worry about... I mean, she's hiccuping, Mrs. Brahma. Anyway, worming tonight, apart from the Marin, who's just been wormed because she was an easy catch. The reason we do it at night is because it's easier to catch them once they've settled down at dusk. And Mrs. Brahma will catch her tonight in the dark. Well, dusk, low light. So that's it. I'm going back up. It's a beautiful day. It's warm, but fresh warm, not over hot, although I wouldn't want to be sitting out here in the sun. And what did we have for dinner? I did savoury mince I used my mandolin and sliced potatoes and coated them in butter and then used them to cover the savoury mince in a tray and baked it in the oven. Really nice. And served it with some ratatouille that I'd made the other week that I'd defrosted. I nearly didn't do it. I nearly didn't. When I got up this morning, I'd had a good sleep, but just thought, oh God, I've got to cook that dinner, and I'm not really sure I feel motivated. But actually, once all my meds kicked in after an hour, I felt ready to do it, so I went and did it. Ida's about somewhere. I think actually she might be in the back of one of the barns. Hold on a minute. There she is. You're keeping out of the sun in there? Huh? I can't... Oh, there's the flash. I might light her up a bit. That might help a bit. Probably dazzle her. I'm always wary about coming in, and if she's in here, because if she thinks she's going to get trapped in here, she'll get up and move, but she's not. You okay? You resting? Out of the sun? It's about 1:45, so I suppose it is midway through the day when everybody's just chilling. If you want clouds, don't forget to check out Clouds at Kathy's. A really nice one yesterday, really lovely clouds yesterday. And I found a nice piece of music to add to it. Okay, so that's it from here. See you next time.